The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
I completely forgot we were starting, and I slammed a handful of chips, and now I'm chewing like an asshole. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Korner Booth Korner Booth, actually. I'm your host, Jerry Clem, alongside these handsome gentlemen right here, Mr. Matt Ordazzo of the victorious New York Jets. Out here injuring quarterbacks, receivers, making the NFL miserable.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to get these wins, and sometimes, some other players beside Aaron Rodgers and every single lineman that we have to take the beating at one time.
And to the south of us, camo wearing, Eagles believing, the former intern, Chris Lipoff. Chris, we're okay. We're gonna be okay.
I hope so, man. Past couple days, dude.
Hey, all right. I want to remind all of Philadelphia Eagles Nation for a second how fucking spoiled we are. The last 2.5 years, okay? Nick Sirianni came in, and basically he's done since week 6 of his rookie year. As a coach, is fucking win football games. So everyone relax. All right, everyone relax. Okay.
Yeah, and, and at the end of the day, you're still 10-3. Yeah, well, I was gonna say at the end of the day, you're still 10-3, so it is a blessing.
At the end of the day, it could be me in last place of the six-pack competition for the first time ever in my life.
I call it heat, man. I love it. I won't catch up to Matt, but I'm just bad.
Oh man, I was funny because my two upsets were either going to be Jets over Texans or Giants over Packers, and I could have went with either. Thankfully, I went with one of them.
So here's the kicker: we still have the playoffs, and the playoff games are worth double.
Oh,
college playoff games are worth double. Because last year the biggest problem was that towards the end of the season, and this happened 2 years ago, I was up by so much over Kevin and JD. It wasn't fun. Last year, Matt snuck up from behind me and beat me. But this year, I figure since Matt got such a big lead, it will kind of make it like double jeopardy. Because what's the point if we end it in 3 weeks and Matt's up by 15 over you and 20 over me? Why not? I make a rally. Why not? It's me and Chris in the running after the second round of the playoffs.
What if we combine our points and then we overtake Matt?
You just get half a Jalen Carter jersey.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to get you I'll get you a 3XL jersey so you guys can put it over both of you at the same time.
It'd be a nightgown on me.
I think you guys could probably fit both of your heads in that head.
I wear a 2X because of my shoulders right now, my man.
Yeah, I'm a kid's medium. That's going to be a nightgown on me.
That being said, as I downed some, I think it was like corn tortilla Cheetos or something like that, I was like, "Oh, our man Sky Warren Spotter Ken, what's up, brother?
What's going on, dude?
Oh yeah, big Bird Sky.
Listen, Ken, it's okay, all right. If this happened to listen, this team has gotten punched in the mouth and responded more than any other Eagles team I've seen, maybe besides the 2017 boys. But then again, them legendary. I'm waiting for Zach Ertz to sign his fucking deal with us. If he goes to the Niners, he's dead to us. He might as well relinquish his 17 ring. We'll put a big blacked out X over who scored the game-winning touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, what if he goes to the Cowboys? That's
if he did that, he would not be welcome back in Philadelphia.
Slap in the face. He's got to go to a contender. It's not like he's not a scrub. He's a serviceable tight end even at his age. You would think these players minus DeAndre Hopkins are thinking I got to go to a team that's going to win now because I don't have a lot of time left. To me, your two top choices in the NFC I should say top three are Cowboys, Niners, Eagles. I don't think he goes to the Cowboys out of respect, but it's got to be Niners or Eagles. AFC,
the Ravens pulled themselves out. He said he was happy with Isaiah Likely, which listen, Likely had a great game on Sunday, so I'm not going to complain about it. I heard it's really, to me, it's Chiefs, Eagles, and Niners. If he goes to the Niners, then he's really dead to Philadelphia. If he goes to the Chiefs, it's understandable. Even though Big Red never coached him.
I was going to say, was he under the Andy Reid tree for a little bit, or was it all Chip Kelly?
I think he was Chip Kelly's second pick.
Yeah. But it's like crazy because like either of those three places you go, you're still gonna be
Yeah,
not
he's
the
the
main
number two
option.
option, regardless of where he goes at tight end. But
Yeah.
that's where he needs to be because Ken said it best. He's serviceable. It's more of a culture fit. Zach Ertz is one of those dudes who literally is a culture fit.
And he knows the guys he's going to be playing with again.
And he knows
signs back with Philly.
He is good at the one thing Jalen needs help at is sitting down 6 yards off the line of scrimmage as a check down. It's literally what kept Carson Wentz employed for an extra year in Philadelphia. So that being said, I think it's a great fit. Also, he's not the worst run blocker in the world. So
I'll take it, dude. Like,
yeah,
honestly,
it's not terrible.
Like, finish your career here. Hopefully win the Super Bowl.
Do the thing Deshaun Jackson was too stubborn to do until it was too late.
Yeah. Well, drive off into the sunset.
I give my favorite landing spot's got to be Philly. Number 2 would be Niners. I think 3 is a sleeper team that nobody talks about. I could see Miami swooping in and being like, listen, come down here, fill that slot for a little bit. You know, Tyreek's a little hurt. We'll give you some ball time. A sleeper team in the AFC, but I don't really see an AFC team signing him, but that would just be my dark horse team.
That's the problem. I think isn't Miami's payroll like through the roof at this point between Ramsey, X's contract, Tyreek's, Moser,
Ramsey,
like,
Howard,
they're paying a bunch of dudes. Like I don't know where, and also they're paying Bradley fucking Chubb too. It's like where the fuck is the money going?
They paid all these
big
dudes.
lineman they got.
Yeah,
Armstead.
Yeah, they're paying Armstead like a freaking boat too. So it's like at the end of the day, if you're really honest, got opinion is those three teams. Maybe throw in a sleeper young team like the Texans.
They got to pay.
Even though that loss to your Jets kind of took them out of Super Bowl contention, but I think they still have a shot at being like that sneaky divisional round team. Or maybe he goes to play for Doug down in Jacksonville. I mean, they got Ingram, but like still, maybe he's a second tight end. I don't know. Don't they have? Yeah, because the only other tight end they got down there is Doug's kid. So
yeah. I was gonna put like an anytime touchdown on him for like the end of the season, like week 17, where it's like just meaningless, and it's like, all right, son, get in there, get a touchdown, easy money.
Did he play that one game that he was active, or he was just the sideline the whole time?
I think he was on the sideline.
He checked in.
Oh, he did check in. Yeah, I just saw him on the sideline and just assumed like, okay, this is gonna be his night.
All right. Let's talk about last night's games because holy fuck, we had some good ones. Let's start off with Tommy fucking Cutlets. Listen, I do not like the New York Giants. Everyone understands this, but I got to give them some love, man. I got to give the Giants some love. It is very rare. So let's set the scene here first. Let me preface this by saying the Green Bay Packers gave everyone false hope on Thanksgiving for Packers fans, right? The biggest problem with the Packers right now is that I look at Jordan Love, I see a athletic freak Kirk Cousins as his ceiling. Like that is the top of the top, A-, B+ quarterback. Is going to light up the stat sheet. Is going to make great throws, but his realistic thing is what we thought Trey Lance was going to be, with less running, more arm throwing, maybe a little. It's just he's in this weird. You know what? No, he is. He's a more durable Carson Wentz post 2017.
Yeah,
like a Darnold Carson Wentz, like. Mobile enough, cannon arm, makes big plays, just makes bonehead throws every couple minutes. That's what he is. He's basically Wentz Darnold prototype. But the Packers, it's not a bad receiving core. They're just all young. Watson's always fucking hurt. But when he's healthy, he's one of the hardest guys to cover in the field. Dobbs ain't bad. This new kid who I can't pronounce his fucking first name, Matt picked him up in our fantasy.
Dontavian Wicks.
Yes, that guy.
Name.
Yeah, and the best part about all of this is that like the Packers aren't a bad roster by any stretch, but the real story was that the New York Giants, they were talking about this on First Take this morning, which I'm not really much of a First Take guy. I'll catch a clip or two and I'll try to like comment on it. But the biggest thing I noticed was when they talked about Tommy Cutlets, Cedar Grove's native son, my mom's hometown. Shout out. My biggest thing about watching this Giants team, they look like they give a fuck again. They're firing on all cylinders, even if that all cylinders is only a 4-cylinder engine. They took out a not terrible team in the Packers, man, who like hung 30-something on the freaking Lions. So we have to really look at this from the standpoint. It's like the Giants aren't terrible. And is this going to cost them a draft pick? Like of a great quarterback? Yeah. And Stephen A. Smith brought up something, and I want your guys' opinion. And any Giants fans in the chat, feel free to comment. But do you give the competition in New York next year an open slot? Like, as a listen, like, I know we're paying Danny Dimes half of mortgage, but the guys don't play hard for him. He doesn't inspire leadership. This Cutlets kid, they're rallying to him. DeVito has them playing. Is he a great quarterback? No. He's okay. Does he manage the game, not make dumb throws, and he keeps them in the ball game? Yeah. They still have an all-world running back in Saquads, and they have a defense that plays opportunistic football. And they have a decent kicker. Let's be honest. They're not going to beat a lot of contenders, but are they fun? And is it a kind of a nice little insanity story, but less ridiculous and more just kind of heartwarming? Yeah, I'll give it to it. But I think next year, if Daniel Jones is just as bad as he was this year as he is next year, then you have to say, hey, Tommy, like, go win this job. Maybe we'll make a 3-man with a second-round draft pick, maybe Bo Nix, right? Get him in the second round. We were talking about this on the show last night. Shout out to Kelsey, Jay, Kevin, and Mr. Lou for all coming through and helping me out and having a great time with me on the show last night, and Josh for making all the banners and graphics and everything, even though he couldn't make it. We said Bo Nix second round. Bo Nix to the Giants as a second-round pick, competes with Tommy Cutlets and Mr. Jones for that starting quarterback spot. And I think, honestly, that gives the Giants – I think a healthy competition at quarterback is what that team needs as a shock to the system. I think they kind of were complacent. And my boss at work, like, complacency is like a bad word at a lot of workplaces. I feel like it's like complacency is like a bad word at my job I go to every day. It's a bad word in professional sports or any successful workplace, right? And I think the Giants got complacent with Daniel Jones because they thought, okay, he's the best we're going to get. Yeah, but you should have given yourselves a better out because this is exactly the worst case scenario. Tommy DeVito is making this not as bad, but now you're playing yourself out of a top tier draft pick. So that being said, fellas, what are you thinking? Giants, what should they do? Thoughts on the game last night?
I just want to say, and I'm surprised you haven't brought this up yet, is Tommy DeVito's agent looks like a hitman.
Oh my God, he's a fucking maron.
That was great.
So, like,
Paisan.
So I be honest with you, I don't see Daniel Jones playing next year because I see this hitman like orchestrating a hit where like Daniel Jones is
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, he's like Daniel Jones is like going to be like tortured in some warehouse in like North New Jersey.
Christ.
Look, look, if you look at this dude's on the phone like, dude, just like, look, end Jones right now. Kneecaps got to go. We're keeping DeVito. So, like, nah, dude, he played well yesterday. It was actually funny watching like Brian Dable jump up and down with DeVito after the game-winning drive. It's like they just won the Super Bowl together. So, I mean, I'm not a Giants fan. I hate the Giants, but I found that to be hilarious. For Jordan Love, yeah, he's like a 2019 Carson Wentz a little bit, aside from the injuries. Couple inaccurate throws, good arm. Little bit of stupid mistakes, but he's a young quarterback that's still learning, young receiving core. So I give him a few more years, and then we can really like judge where he's going to be at.
Yeah, no, I think honestly with the problem is with Jones is like the tape isn't changing, and that's my problem. With Jordan Love, we have such a little view of him, and like he comes in and plays well in certain points. Like I actually got to watch him live a little bit last year. I was like, I mean, he makes the reads, he sits back, he throws it, he delivers strikes. He makes the hard plays. Sometimes the fundamentals get a little lackluster, but I'm like, all right, it's not a bad quarterback. The other side of the Monday night spectrum was funny. The Miami Falcons, I mean Dolphins, sorry. Just anybody else look at this Miami team and just I'm parading around with like the I told you so flag. Like I'm walking Mr. Big Chest this morning. I'm like, I told y'all where there's smoke, there's fire with Miami. This team's all speed, no power. And listen, say what you want. A Mike Vrabel coach team will punch you in the mouth even when they're down by 30 because they still want to see a little blood, right? So last night, Connecticut's native son, Will Mayonnaise and Biting Banana Peels Levis, led a 2-touchdown comeback in the final seconds, which was in the final minutes, which was crazy. Orchestrated, of course, by the new Unk, DeAndre Hopkins, and of course King Henry. Westbrook Akine also made a ridiculous catch on the sideline too. But like Levis is like running over Jalen Ramsey. The defense is playing well, making stops when Tua is trying to scramble. Like this Titans team, they're not doing anything this year, but they're playing hard for their boy. And I think that's something we have to understand. It's like maybe like the Titans aren't as screwed as we think. And this is I have another point here. I'll let you guys talk about the game. Do we think this was the Jaguars' 1 year to be that team? Because all 3 other teams in their division drafted a quarterback, and all 3 look promising or better. Let that sink in. Richardson is reckless and he gets hurt, but if he stays even moderately healthy, that team is making the playoffs. And then you have, obviously, the rookie of the year by a fucking mile and C.J. Stroud. And a very young, hungry defense and offense down in Houston with a lot of talent. And then you go to Tennessee with one of the best head coaches in football, a lot of underrated players, and a quarterback who's a gamer. Like they're maybe 2 years away, whereas the Houston Texans are here and the Colts are a year away. But Jacksonville's window of running this division was this year and maybe next year, and they missed it. They can't close the game. And their coming out party was last year beating the Chiefs. But what happened? They let Mahomes on one ankle come back and win. This is the most Jacksonville of all Jacksonville things, man. This was the new regime, and they just bumbled it. Like, I said this when I went on Josh Mahler's Josh Mahler hosted Belly Up After Dark, I think last Thursday, right? And I said, without a doubt, the Houston Texans, in my opinion, will win the AFC South. I don't know how. I mean, listen, losing the match, Jets kind of throw a monkey wrench in that one a little bit. Thanks, Matt. But that being said, that Texans team, man, they got that fire. I mean, Jacksonville, to me, looks like that team is trying to limp its way to the playoffs, and you see Houston sprinting after it like a crazed sprinter. So that was my thoughts. Miami, all I got to say is just soft, just bad coverage. They weren't converting when they needed. They look sloppy at home in primetime. Their last Monday night game they hosted, Jay Smoking Sigs Cutler was quarterback. And they knocked off Brady and the Patriots in 2017. The greatest year of football ever. So, that being said, fellas, thoughts on Dolphins and Titans? We'll get into a one-sentence game and the rest of the headlines.
I'm pumping the brakes on Will Levis a little bit because I think he's special, like in the sense of I think he's got a lot of talent and he has these games where he looks like he might be their guy. Like that comeback win against the Dolphins last night was amazing, and his rookie campaign when he had those 4 touchdowns, 3 of them to DeAndre Hopkins, that was a fantastic game as well. but he's had a lot of just inconsistency in between those games. And I think he's going to play well enough to work his way into the endorsement role next year, where they're going to try and build around him and just be like, oh, you're going to be our guy next year, and we're going to give you some more weapons, and we're going to see what you can do. But I'm pumping the brakes on him. I'm not buying the hype too soon off those couple of really good games of his. You got to see more out of him. He was considered by some to be a top 10, top 15 quarterback last year, and he wound up going into the second round. So he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, but like I said, I'm pumping the brakes a little bit. I need to see some more consistent play from him, but I think he does just enough to get the endorsement next year as their starter. AFC South-wise, that is going to be probably one of the most hottest divisions going forward. Like you said, with all the quarterbacks, like Will Levis has talent and he shows flashes of he could be that franchise guy. We'll see what he's like next year when he has more weapons. Anthony Richardson was looking, I think Anthony Richardson, I speak for a lot of people when I say that he looked a lot better than we all thought that he was going to look, given the starting keys right away. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a shit show if he didn't get to sit behind Gardner for that 1 year, but he's shown flashes. I think he's going to be good too next year when he has some more weapons and he's healthy. CJ Stroud is the best rookie quarterback in that class. The Texans' future is bright. They're going to be very good for a very long time as long as he is their quarterback. And just look at the talent around him: Brevin Jordan, Dalton Schultz, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Noah Brown, Robert Woods, Damian Pierce, and Devin Singletary. And not the world's greatest offensive line. So just the fact that he has a bunch of wide receiver 2s and 3s and 4s and tight end 2s and 3s on him, and the run game's atrocious. And he's still got them in a 7 and 6 position at this moment, which is just insane. So I think that division's future's bright with quarterbacks in that play. And obviously Trevor Lawrence without Urban Meyer, with Doug Peterson in Jacksonville, looks like the real deal. I think going forward, this is going to be the newest, most competitive division in the NFL.
I agree. The thing is, we look at look at the East, right? The Giants are chasing their own tail. The Commanders have to reboot for the 45th fucking time. It's just gonna be Eagles Cowboys for the next half decade between Hurts and Mr. Prescott. You go to your division. Let's be honest. Besides the Bills and Sean McDermott's great motivational speeches, it's kind of like maybe the Jets draft some Rodgers next year. I draft somebody with Rodgers, and maybe, I don't know. It's just a lot of uncertainty. And the only ones where it's like all promising players is the AFC South, where we might be going back to those Peyton Manning, David Garrard days, where everyone in that division is making a run for the title. David Garrard, man.
What a throwback. That just threw me back to like 2011 or 12.
Yeah, right. All right. You guys ready to talk we got some injury news. As mentioned before, CJ Stroud injured. He is in the concussion protocol right now. Thanks, Matt. Actually, I should stop saying that. Matt isn't the one who slammed his head to the turf. It's that shitty turf that you guys play in, that dumpster fire of a stadium that you play in.
This is all very true. I can attest to this. Speaking of
your stadium, I want it burned to the fucking ground. But that's
we have that in common. Speaking of stadiums, I just saw the Ravens unleash their new stadium designs going forward, and that looks beautiful.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
I saw it on Twitter.
We'll share it on the Korner Booth Twitter account during the show, obviously. Other injury news. I actually have a question for you guys about this one. I thought about this all day today. All right, so we now officially know, may have an answer to the whole Chargers dilemma. Justin Herbert's out for the season with a fractured right finger. That's all I said. Didn't give me a specific finger, just said right finger. I'm like, okay, I guess there's like four of them that can be broken. Anyway, that was my left hand. There it is. All right, so now my question to you guys is, because now officially the Chargers season shot to shit, right? This cements Brandon Staley's fired, right? Or is this somehow, some way of some unholy hell of Justin Herbert's nightmares, give Staley one more year because he can say, "Oh, I lost my quarterback."
No, it doesn't work like that.
No,
it doesn't work like that.
No, because
why
it's not going to work out. I'm sorry. You go first.
No,
I keep
I was just
interrupting
gonna say because Joe Burrow's out and like Jake Browning is
Well,
playing
Jake
pretty
Browning
well.
also was like a
you. Yeah.
like a Heisman hopeful quarterback who was like one of the best players in Washington history. But
Yeah, but this dude just can't keep getting excuses because like, oh, my quarterback's hurt. I deserve like another year. Like anybody could say that. Like
Easton Stick won a goddamn title at North Dakota State.
yeah, like Nick Foles won a Super Bowl as a backup quarterback. Like Carson Wentz went down. Do you think if the Eagles didn't win the Super Bowl, does Doug Peterson deserve to be fired that year? Like it's
Trent
just
Dilfer won in what,
Exactly.
2000?
Didn't want to win for the Giants in the 80s. By the way, boys, we have our nominee. We have Jared's first nominee for Christmas Beer of the Year. This is Holiday Ale, get it? By Breckenridge Brewing, actually a former sponsor of Belly Up Sports. We still are friendly with them as a brewery, but they kind of went their own direction marketing wise. Amazing whiskey barrel aged ale. It is phenomenal. And the funny story, I had this for the first time last weekend. It did not realize it was whiskey barreled until I'm eating a very spicy, like Mexican dinner. And I go to take a sip. I'm like, oh, that's a weird mix of flavors. It's like I'm drinking beer and whiskey and vanilla all in one. But I put a plastic container over it and then waited until after and just like, look at that color, boys.
That's beautiful.
Very
I
dark.
got right here. I have Deer
like
Park water, 100% natural spring water. It's kind of heavy, but
I've actually been to Deer Park, New York, and I've seen the plant. By the way, that stretch of row where the plant on is so fucking sketchy.
Bunch of deer.
Got your big boys of the Liquid Death if you need a murder.
Hey yo,
saw them at the supermarket the other day.
Dude, the Liquid Death, they literally sell out in the supermarket so fast nobody can get them. They buy them by the case there. Liquid Death,
sparkling water.
Sparkling teas are my favorite.
Yeah, I got the mango, the mango chainsaw, the lime and the berry, the berry something.
The not Arnold Palmer is probably my favorite, but or the agave, the agave was really good. Yeah. Anyway,
back to Brandon Staley. I don't think he makes it because there is a certain somebody over in the East that reportedly, according to a Patriots insider, will be available at the end of the year, and that would be Bill Belichick. Is reportedly Robert Kraft is going to move on from him after the year, which he decided after the Week 10 loss in Germany. Not sure how credible that is. It did come from this guy Tom Curran.
It also came from a certain paisan named Mike Lombardi. So
it's possible. I'm not saying.
I'm smelling smoke.
Saying it's impossible.
That may just be Bill O'Brien's brain trying to function correctly, but
I mean, I don't know. Josh McDaniels might come back. Bill goes to the Chargers. Patriots get their first general manager in 23 years.
I'm just waiting to see Frank Reich stroll his ass down Broad Street and walk in and say, "I will be the understudy to the offensive coordinator. I'm here to save your season."
Imagine if they replaced Bill Belichick with Rex Ryan.
Oh my God, I would be doing cartwheels. Kevin might be on like mental breakdown watch, but I think we'll be okay. All right, boys. Final thoughts, quick on Herbert and the Chargers. Then we're gonna move into 1 cents game. Maddie, getting ready?
Oh yeah, I'm already ready.
All right, I got the timer rocking and rolling. Mr. Chris, you're gonna get the first game today.
Again, nice back-to-back weeks.
Well, listen, you were kind of the winner this week in picks, so you get the first game. Chris, remember, comedy is key. Go.
Need a game.
All righty, Chris. We're gonna let's start you off with this past Thursday game. It actually turned out to not be that terrible of a game that we all thought. It hit the over on the total. This is the Patriots 21-18 victory over the Steelers.
Oh, dude, Bailey, it's zapping, dude. Like he was great. We thought this game was going to be like 3-0, but it turned out to be like somewhat surprising. And Ezekiel Elliott, man, that Amish ass name. I mean, that dude had the first touchdown. And Mitch, I kissed some goddamn titties. Trubisky had a Mitch ass game, but I guess it's a good win for the Pats. Haven't won one in like 6 weeks, so.
That was honestly a very fun game to watch. Maddie, what's my game?
Let's start you off with a high-scoring game that not a lot of people thought would get to this point, but we got the Buccaneers and the Falcons frenzy, a 29-25 victory in the Bucs' favor.
All right, I'll make this one quick. I love the Baker Mayfield FU tour is making another stop in Tampa Bay. Oh, by the way, Arthur Smith is a doofus and his mustache is ugly. And watching the Falcons fail is hilarious. And the fact that their only hope for saving the season is Desmond Ritter after they benched him for that injury faking Heineke, hilarious. But also the Bucks are I think the most complete team in that shitstorm of a division.
Oof. I've got my game. I got the Jets Texans, a 30-6 victory. One that I think a lot of people did not have the Jets covering the spread, and a lot of people didn't have them winning the game. I kept hearing all day they're gonna let Zach Wilson let it rip, so I did my little thing and I went on FanDuel. I said, let me take Zach Wilson 275 plus over the passing touchdowns. Jets spread. That hit. It was a nice little hit right there. But it was a great game to watch. Nice rhythm by the team. Much needed victory. We'll see if they can cap against Miami next week with Aaron Rodgers possibly coming back.
There you
go. Chris, I'm gonna give you the Jake Browning game, the Bengals and the Colts.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! The anti-Joe Burrow, Jake Browning. This game was good. I would say the cool thing about Jake Browning is he's getting better each week. And I just thought it was funny because I had Jamar Chase in fantasy, and I know my opponent had T. Higgins, but those two dudes didn't do anything. And then this dude Chase Brown comes out of nowhere, just rips three receptions.
For the Eagles.
Yeah, three receptions, 80 yards, and a TD. It was a good game. I guess it was a good win for the Bengals. I mean, their playoff hopes are still alive. So
there you go. What's my game, Matt?
All right, Jared, you got the OT thriller, the Ravens and Rams.
This game was so much fucking fun. I was so amped for every minute of this. The Rams are actually a very good team with a shit record, and it makes me sad that they had to go out without Stafford for so long. But the Ravens, I think, are that team that everyone's been sleeping on. That being said, that I can't even make anything funny. This game was just fun to watch, okay? When Odell almost caught that game-winning touchdown, I was like, that would have been the perfect storyline. But listen, that was also the slowest punt return I've ever seen in my life. And it was still hilarious how he just kept stumbling all the way to the end zone. But Ravens win. Good win.
All right, I got the Browns Jaguars. Joe Flacco can still play football, I guess. I didn't know he was even still out there until they signed him. Would have been nice if the Jets kind of gave him a call. But they win 31-27 over a half-healthy Trevor Lawrence Jaguars. But Joe Flacco at his age still out there slinging the ball. Browns win 31-27 and improve to 8-5 on the season, prominently in a wildcard spot.
There you go. All righty.
All right. Mr. Chris, we're going to give you the Lions and the Bears game.
Oh, Lions and the Bears. I'm really concerned about the Lions. Lately, the offense just hasn't been clicking. Goffense has turned into a terrible defense. I don't know. I'm kind of shell shocked a little bit because I do have Goff in fantasy, and he hasn't really been delivering much for me since that Thanksgiving game. All that turkey got to his head. Yeah, dude. Good win for the Bears, I guess. I didn't think they were going to win this game. So I'm really surprised the Lions offense just puts up 13 points.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, last game, Jared, I gave you a thriller. Let's give you a slasher. This was just an absolute massacre. The Saints 28-6 victory over the Panthers.
Wah. Did we listen? This was watching that dude in your high school who was way too jacked up on caffeine, nicotine, and possibly steroids fight this skinny band kid. It was not fair. It was stop, he's already dead meme from the Simpsons. I felt bad watching this game. I really did. I was I kind of picked this in one of my work pools. I think in pick'em pools, I picked the Panthers as a shits and giggles kind of pick because nobody else was going to do it. And I watched the Panthers. I'm because I figured, they just fired their coach. Maybe they'll get a win. Maybe not last week, but maybe this week. And it's just no. Who's the doofus who owns this team? Is this Tepper?
Yeah.
He's fucking stupid. This team
Dave
is
Tepper.
fucked. They're gonna get fucking relegated. Can we call up the XFL, like the Battlehawks or the fucking Renegades from Arlington? Because shit, the Panthers fucking suck, man.
Yeah, dude, their leading.
Oh man,
I was gonna say their leading receiver had 1 catch for 44 yards.
Holy fuck.
The Saints. A.T. Perry,
This game
6th
was
round
so
draft.
bad. Me and my dad were watching Red Zone on Sunday, and my dad goes, "Why the hell are they showing this game? It's fucking terrible." I'm like, "Because the TV commercials. That's it."
Oh man, I got the worst game of the week. I got the game that I did not think could top the 6-0 Chargers Patriots game. We have the 3-0 Vikings win over the
my
Raiders.
God, this game pissed me off so much. I lost my upset pick on a fucking field goal.
This game was so bad.
I am
This
now
game was so
behind
bad
Chris because of a fucking field goal. Fuck
Stop
kickers.
yeah,
Kickers'
this,
lives don't matter.
yeah. Josh Dobbs did not look good. Nick Mullins looked okay at best. They're rolling with Nick Mullins going forward next week. No reason why Aiden Connell, Devontae Adams, and Josh Jacobs couldn't score more than 3 points, but here we are with a 3-0 victory with the Vikings, and of course, Jared's upset pick did not fall through as we all hoped it would.
Fuck!
All right, Mr. Chris, we're wrapping up the games. I've got you with the Niners-Seahawks game.
Dude, I hate the 49ers so fucking much, but you got to give the flowers to the kid. Brock Purdy's been playing great. He's an MVP candidate, unfortunately. Just everything's clicking for them at the right time. They got the 1 seed from us, which sucks. Hopefully they drop one within these next 4 games. I think if you started one person from their entire offense this week in fantasy, you probably got a good amount of points from them. They all went off.
Yeah, Debo, I think I don't know how many long balls I watched that game, but that was just an insane game, just a way for them to answer back. Because we all thought that was their Super Bowl last week, and we wanted to see if they were going to capitalize after that, and they did not disappoint for themselves. Mm-hmm. Jared, I'm going to give you Sean McDermott and his Crusaders, their victory over the Chiefs, the 20-17 final.
My man went full anti-America, like the hit piece. Like, listen, the Buffalo Bills, I always make the joke they're the real America's team because they're they're the underdog, and Josh Allen's dating one of the most beautiful women in America, Miss Haley Steinfeld. I love you. Here's the thing. The Bills now have to play the Cowboys next week. I think America's rooting for the goddamn Bills. You know what? Here's the thing. Also, Patrick Mahomes, buddy.
Yeah.
Listen, okay? The way that the penalty works, I had explained this to one of my coworkers on Monday, right? The receiver has to look at the referee to check if he's offsides. Or, hey, listen, maybe if my foot's as far up as the ball, maybe I'm offsides. But, because Patrick didn't get his way, he's flipping his shit in the sideline. And this is the most dickhead thing to Josh Allen. That was a bullshit call, man. How do you say good game, you fucking wiener? Jesus Christ. I am so annoyed. Like, Patrick, you only have a second Super Bowl because the refs gifted you a PI against James Bradbury. Let's be honest. He barely grabbed Jersey because Juice is a terrible receiver. That's why it was just.
I can't stand when he talks, dude.
Giving calls by the refs for the past half a decade.
I can't stand when he talks, dude. He stood in that press conference and he's like,
"Oh my
God,
God,
yeah, you can't make a call like that." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, Kermit."
He could have said, "Listen, it's unfortunate what happened." No, he sounded like an immature asshole. Oh, it took away an amazing play from a Hall of Fame tight end. That doesn't matter if it's a fucking penalty, you doofus. Holy shit!
I think Kadarius Toney cost them their last 3 losses.
Kadarius Toney might be one of the dumbest football, not in actual intelligence, like football IQ. He's got to have the football IQ of a potato. Seriously, he makes he's a freak athlete of a player, but he just doesn't get the spatial awareness. It's incredible. I gotta check out maybe some of our friendly Chiefs fans, maybe our boy Robert Taylor, and see what he's feeling right now. Because I want his honest to God opinion about Kadarius Toney. And it's not me being mean. I just want to know. So I might message her after the show and see if we'll stop by the show on Thursday. But
Yeah, I am.
holy shit, like this game. I'm sorry I went like a minute over, but this game, Mahomes' comments were so ridiculous because I was upset too because I lost money on this pick basically. But it was a great play. It was awesome to watch. Kelsey throwing it across his body, hitting Tony in stride. It was a crazy play. But the problem was they should have blown the play dead when Tony was offsides. That's maybe the one thing I could say about the refs. But other than that, they made the right call. And Patrick, stop bitching, brother. You lost. Your team's lost its luster. Like, I love how the refs, these Happzo had to hold him back from the fucking referees, you fucking pansy.
Yeah, they won't. They're not going to talk about it because it's Patrick Mahomes. But that just speaks to the kind, not like his character, because I'm sure he's a fantastic guy, but like it just looks bad, and it's not going to get touched up on because it's Patrick Mahomes. But just the unsportsmanship in that moment, and yeah, like you said, Kadarius Toney just cost them that loss. There's plenty of aerial pictures where he was offsides. He did check, but somebody said he checked. He didn't look at the ref when he checked. He just checked and just said he was good. But anyways, Chiefs get another loss on that one. I've got the Broncos Chargers. Broncos are coming back. They're starting out. They're starting to be this might be the team that Sean Payton was envisioning for themselves. 7-6 right now. They beat up on the 5-8 Chargers.
Say it, you bastard. Say it.
What? I'm not saying anything with Sean Payton.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
No, I'm not doing
it. There it is.
I'm not doing it. I am not doing it.
Like, this is what Chris. I think Chris can like read my brain wavelengths. That's what's scary. I've known this kid for 3.5 months, and he reads my brain like a freaking like instruction manual.
That's
Matt, you know me for a fucking decade at this point, and I still surprise
I'm not saying it.
I think that's why. I think it's why.
No, I've just seen that video so many times of him in his press conference. Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride. It just cringes me. It makes me cringe. I don't like this.
That's good old South Park football, baby.
But listen, he is a completely different quarterback than he was last year. Sean Payton looks like he has him going into the right direction. I think all these the talks about is Sean Payton just a shit coach without Breeze is kind of calming down. But shout out to the Broncos, 7-6, working themselves into a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chris, I hate to do it to you, but I'm gonna give you your game, the Cowboys Eagles.
We played like we were dead, like just a bunch of corpses on a football field. We just got dominated. And look, I said this the other night. You know when you're gonna get shit on. When you come out, you turn the ball over on the first drive. It's just all the momentum just swings. And especially in fucking Arlington too. And I know we can't win there because we haven't won there in like 6 years. I'm not gonna say we can't win there. We could, but we haven't won there in 6 years. That's an important stat. I'm gonna stick out. Our offense just wasn't clicking. A bunch of crucial drops. These fucking 5-yard passes to not convert the chains. Defense is getting destroyed for another week. I'm not panicking, but I'm not comfortable. That's all I'm gonna say.
At the end of the day, still 10-3, still very much with that, 100% possibility the Eagles still wind up the number 1 seed. I think this is music to the ears of everybody but a Giants fan, because Giants are I've already heard plenty of Giants say, oh, well, if the Eagles are gonna rest their starters before the season's over, we might actually be able to beat them and improve. I'm like, well, I told myself, well, they got a tough schedule. They drop a game or two, they're not resting anybody. Here we are, 10-3 Cowboys, 10-3 Eagles, 10-3 Niners. Nobody's getting rested in a week or two.
That was my hope, to play like with like the backups.
This is all I have to say about the Eagles.
Believe. That was my hope, though, ending last game at MetLife, playing the backups, because that field is shit. We know it.
We don't want to lose anybody. Can we just have me and Chris go out and play I mean, go slap Tommy DeVito a couple times, tell him he go have some Espositos. Listen, I know Cedar Grove.
I'll get injured on that field. I develop chronic bloody noses. So if I get a bloody nose, I'm done.
I get blackout
questionable.
drunk every time I visit that stadium.
Yeah,
Same.
questionable return.
Yeah, because it's just a terrible fucking stadium, and the Maras and the Johnsons should be ashamed of themselves for injuring all these players.
Yes.
My one thing about this, like I said, I helped the Ted Lasso sign because that is it. Eagles fans, it's okay. All right, fuck. Like this isn't the Chip Kelly years. This isn't when we're holding on to the hope that Nick Foles and the boys rally in 2014. This is like, guys, there's hope here, man. Like we got Jalen, we got AJ, we got this whole talented team. I do think Sean Desai needs to get his head examined a little bit. Like, I love Nick Morrow as a run defensive player. For the rest of the season, our defense at the linebacking core should be as follows. Shaq Leonard, who played very well in his debut. Nothing big to say, but he played good. Zach Cunningham, God bless him, he's back. And then our monster back, our predator back, should be Sidney Brown. Just have a third safety, kind of like our boy Malcolm roaming around the box. Because Sidney Brown hits like a fucking sledgehammer. That boy, dude, they even said it in the broadcast. He hit one of their players so bad. Even Chris Collins was like, who was that who hit him? And Mike Tree goes, that's Sidney Brown again. And they were like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Like Sidney Brown has that Palomalu like Dawkins energy where he just hurts you when he hits you.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta move on. We got 2 more games left, Matt. It's you and me.
All right.
Don't do it to me.
I didn't do what?
Don't give me Tommy Cutlets. I don't want to talk about this game anymore.
I got you. I was gonna say I didn't get a chance to talk about that one before, so I was gonna give you Titans Dolphins.
Perfect. Will Levis is not. Listen, Will Levis was my number 2 rated quarterback in this draft class behind CJ Stroud, and I stick by it. I think the kid is going to have a longer development process, but I think this is the most perfect season for him. The Titans are not winning anything. They're not competing for anything, but he's learning. He's got one of the best receivers of our generation, Hopkins, to learn how to throw these routes open. And when Hopkins said this dude is a dog, he meant it. Also, Jalen Ramsey looked like a bitch after he ran him over, man. Holy shit. I'm like, I saw that clip on Twitter while I was meal prepping last night after I got off the college football show. I was like, oh, fuck. All right. That being said, the Dolphins are about as soft as melted mozzarella cheese, and they got punked last night.
They're too flashy, bro. Bunch of flashy players in one
All
football
flash,
team.
no substance, babe. You know how it
A
is.
lot of egos in that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of egos.
I've got the other Monday night game. I got the Tommy Cutlets Bowl. I love this story. I love this kid. I think this is just what that team needed after having a second-round playoff season last year where they didn't think they were even going to go as far as 7 wins, and they go out and they get to the playoffs, they get to the second round. And then you come into this year and you got a lot of more higher expectations, and it doesn't live up to that, but here comes your Lord and Savior, Tommy Cutlets, in at the end of the year. And he's got him on a nice 3-game streak, I think, right now. I think he started 4 games. He's 3-1 right now in his starts. He's been getting better every game. His passes are getting better. His decision making's a lot better. His field vision's a lot better. And even though he doesn't throw for an absurd amount of yards, he learns to use his legs whenever is needed to get those first downs, to get those big plays. So he's a mobile dual threat kind of guy right now. And I think it's just what this team needs, some excitement, some versatility. And I love the story. I absolutely love how every single person in that stadium is like an honorary Paisan whenever Sunday comes and he takes the field. His agent dressed as a soprano hitman, his family, just
forget about
how do you say it? Yeah, his family is just like going with it too. They're kissing each other on the cheeks like they're in the mafia. It's just I just love seeing it. It's very wholesome, and it's just what that team needs at this point in time. And I'll go as far as to say Joe Shane and Brian Dable should be kissing that man's feet every single freaking day because he is saving their jobs. Let's be real. There's a lot of talks about if they were going to keep both or get rid of one or the other at the end of the year. And this man is single-handedly, this third string, undrafted free agent rookie for a $20,000 contract is saving these 2 guys' jobs. Do I think he's a starter next year? No. But I think he's playing well enough to be highly considered as a QB2 behind Daniel Jones, get into training camp, see how he does. And who knows, very well next year, we could see Daniel Jones not play as well as he has like 2 years ago. And it could be Tommy DeVito 2.0 next year. But it was a great game. It was a tough fought game. It was a lot of fun to watch, and it's an amazing story. And like I said, it's just what this team and this franchise needs right now.
Give
Dude,
me the fucking cutlets. All right.
I was gonna say, dude, I just love how like Italian the whole stadium is. It's so Italian that I think like they'll
Okay.
start replacing their food, like they'll switch hot dogs to like spaghetti and meatballs, just so DeVito feels
Oh.
more comfortable.
All right. So, Chris,
That'd be
I don't know
great.
have you ever been to Cedar Grove, New Jersey, or Cedar Grove, Patterson, Wayne area? Anything up there?
Heard of it? No, have not.
Okay. So, my whole family's from that area. My
Love
mom's
it.
side of the family. Very paisan over there. Okay. A lot of paisan. I literally there was a pizza joint. It was like an institution there for years called Esposito's. All right, like it is the most gaudy Italian place of all time. You walk in, it literally looks like every prototypical like Italian place, right? The main dragon, Cedar Grove. It's just it feels like your suburban New Jersey Italian place. I will root for Tommy DeVito because Cedar Grove is an essential part of my childhood because my grandmother's house was there for like two decades. My mom grew up there. I spent a lot of time in that town. I love Cedar Grove, New Jersey, and also David Njoku's from there. Shout out.
I was just wondering if like DeVito got kissed on both cheeks, like by like Dable after like that big win. Out of respect.
Well, Dave would have to hop up on a like little
Little stepping
bench
stool,
behind
yeah.
him.
He'd have to have Saquon Barkley get on his hands and knees so he could
Just
step
like
on
lift
top of
him
him just
up
to
a
reach
little
him.
bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you just see Kayvon Thibodeau lifting up Dave on both sides just to kiss him. But oh my god, this is a fucking weird ass weekend of football. Can we just like put this weekend behind us? Like shit. I'm so ready for next weekend already. And I don't even know like we got to watch the Sea Chickens on Monday there, buddy.
Oh yeah. Don't bet them. Even though they're playing the Birds.
Listen, when I bet
burn
the
you.
Sea Chickens, they lose.
Maybe bet them.
Oof. That is a stat right there.
Wow.
That's fucking wild.
I told you the hitman is somewhere in northern New Jersey just beating the shit out of Daniel Jones in a warehouse. He's done. He's not coming back.
He's gonna come back. Just that money that they owe him. I think he has an opt out after the second year. Like I don't think him. I think the team has some sort of opt out option after year two. But he'll be back just off of that contract and that money. I don't know if he's gonna start the whole year. Tommy DeVito could come in, but I think DeVito's got to be at least QB2.
They're gonna do 7 fishes just for Tommy DeVito.
Here's my biggest problem is that like when I look at Daniel Jones, I really don't see the future. I think it's a lost cause. I think they overshot. It's the most New York Giants move of all time. They forced this. They drafted him exclusively because of his Manning connection with Cutcliffe. It just does. It's not there, and I think half of the organization knows it, half doesn't. I think is if they stick with him, which Matt, if you're right, they will. They're going to be mediocre or worse next year. I honestly think that the DeVito thing is hurting their organization because they couldn't get a Drake May or Michael Penix. Now they're looking at a Bo Nix or, oh my God, please let it happen. But a JJ McCarthy. I want to see JJ McCarthy try to throw a slant right against like Darius Slay or like Trayvon Diggs next year. Please let that happen.
I got a buddy who's a New York Giants fan that's hoping that, well, I don't know what he feels like now, but he was hoping that the Giants would fire Dable, bring in John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh, and draft JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy's so fucking bad. I don't get the whole thing. I've been trying to. I've had Michigan fans explain this to me. I don't get it. I watched them twice. So I've watched 4 Michigan games this year, and I've watched about maybe an hour and a half of tape total over the past. Not counting actual games of JJ McCarthy. I don't get it. I don't get where this first round grade is. I don't understand it. I don't know what I'm missing something. My man's right. I don't get the JJ McCarthy thing. I really don't. But then again, I didn't really get what's his face? Shit. Tua. I didn't get Tua. I didn't understand it. I and he's not honestly not a bad quarterback. So That being said, a little baseball news. Apparently, according to my Diamondback sources, the owner and the GM, Mike Hazen, and I believe Ken Kendrick is his name. I didn't even know that was the owner of the Diamondbacks till about 20 minutes ago.
Kendrick.
They both said this is going to be the highest payroll in baseball in their franchise's history, and they're not done making moves. And I'm like, dreams do. See, this is the thing. The Diamondbacks caught a little whiff of success with a mediocre payroll. Now they want to play. So, all right.
It's the guy girls be like, I know he's bad, but I can change him. And coaches think that he can coach him up.
This is why we bring this guy on the corner with pregame.
Oh my God.
Shit like this.
Yeah, I promise
he's
not
wrong,
so bad.
though. I got like, okay, he is that, like, he's got all the physical tools. I think DJ tried to explain JJ McCarthy to me, and it still didn't make sense why you draft him. Like, Jacob Eason had a cannon arm and okay accuracy, but he went in the 4th round.
Where is he now?
I think in the XFL, USFL, which is not the XFL. Oh, boys, the XFL USFL merger starts this year. I'm excited for that shit.
Oh, I'm excited.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Can we like make that like our meme project this year? Now that Chris is here for the spring, we want to make sure it's our meme project.
Shout out Orlando Guardians. My team, 171 heartbeat.
Just fucking terrible team. Honestly, the problem is though, Deej, he's gonna go first round. We know somebody's gonna overreach for him. That certain team, New York Giants. Unless like Penix falls because he has a terrible playoff, but I don't know. All right.
My dark horse is
I'm sorry. I just got one more thing, dude. Speaking, because you hit me with the XFL. Dude, I had tickets for an XFL game at FedEx Field. So, and that scumbag Vince McMahon used to run the XFL, and the game got canceled because COVID started, and they said they were going to reimburse everybody their tickets. We never got reimbursed for that, so I'm gonna have to call WWE and be like, "Hey, Vincent, can I get my $28.50 back for this this game down at FedEx Field?"
You're gonna talk to some random guy named fucking Jake fucking Smigglesworth from Endeavor because they sold that company.
Okay, can we have like that? Like that's like Matt's new. Like it doesn't say Matt anymore. It's gonna say Jake Smigglesworth is his new tag for the rest of the
Like you're fired,
Matt, aka Jake Smigglesworth.
That'd be great because Kelsey will come on and be like, "What the fuck's Matt Think say?" It's my alter ego.
Matt. For next week, for Thursday's show, because Kelsey's clearly not watching. Change it to Jake Smigglesworth. I don't know how we're gonna do this, but just do it. Matt, aka Swagoo, aka Jake Smigglesworth.
Smitty Werben John Man Jensen.
Smitty Werben Jagerman Jensen, whatever it is.
Yeah, the Lucky Hat.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna write it down. Oh man, wait, Chris, do you want to be Jefferson Steelflex and I'll be Alvin Yakitori?
Fuck yeah!
Shut the
yeah. Oh,
and then Jared, you could be Dr. Nussbaum.
Yeah. Yup.
Jesus Christ!
I kissed your wife.
I just texted you the. I spelled his name wrong.
That's okay. I figured it out. That's how I spelled it with the R in there. Jake
Smigglesworth. There we go. Matt, a.k.a. Swagoo, a.k.a. Jake Smigglesworth. That is Matt's new name.
It's Can I be Smitty Werben Jagerman Jensen, the Eagles fan?
Whatever.
That's going to be my
Chris's name is 10 beers down, 10 toes up.
Damn right, dude. Damn right.
All right.
We got way off everything, but I was going to say, MLB-wise, Ohtani's contract has been deferred, 680 of that $700 million. Getting $2 million a year for 10 years. After that, he's getting 10 years.
Swept by the Diamondbacks, you fucking losers.
Giants signed.
That's your biggest problem. You have no starting pitching. No starting pitching.
Oh,
I'm serious. You guys literally, the one thing that killed you in that series was the Diamondbacks would slug your starting pitching around. You didn't fix it. Ohtani should never pitch in a game again because his elbow can't take it. As a reliever, I could see it maybe, but like he should never start ever again. But yeah, fuck the Dodgers. Disrespectful.
The Giants also get the Japanese outfielder for like 6 years, 113 million or something like that.
Ain't gonna matter when you finish in 4th place. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the Korner Booth pregame. Korner podcast. Jesus Christ, I really gotta get my shit together. Shout out to our sponsors, Canada Dips and SeatGeek, and of course, Blight Media and Marlboro. Canada Dips promo code Blight 20 for 20% off your purchase at checkout. Very helpful, trust me. It makes every 10 $8 instead of 10. Promo code Belly Up 20 for 20%. No, sorry, Belly Up Sports for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And last but not least, Marlboro's Belly 15 for 15% off your purchase at checkout. Super comfortable golf gear. I own the blue camo polo. It is very comfortable. I wore it 3 times this year when golfing, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And of course, shout out to Belly Up Media and Belly Up Sports and all of our friends at the Belly Up crew. We will catch you guys on Thursday for the Korner Booth pregame. This will be dropped on Belly Up and Friends and Korner Booth's feed within the next couple hours, I believe around 9:30-ish or so. And it'll be on our social media as of tomorrow. We appreciate y'all stopping by. Check us out Thursday. And to all of my Jewish friends out there, happy Hanukkah. I believe it's day 5. My math is terrible, so don't judge me. So happy Hanukkah to all my friends of the Jewish faith. And to the rest of you scrubs, got about, 11 days till Christmas? Get your shit together. Start buying presents.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
I wonder what day of Hanukkah is the one you get the best gift on.
I feel like it's like the middle, like day 6. Like, that's got to be huge. Like, oh, shit, day 6.